Hi, this is Susan, and today we're going to be discussing special effects on Auxy Pro. In my first tutorial video, I showed you how to create a new composition, a new song, how to select an instrument, how to select a drum kit, how to lay down notes or beats, how to copy them, how to move them, and a handful of other things, and then how to save a new title. Today we'll be continuing where I left off. So I already changed the title up top from Getting Started to Special Effects. Now when I say special effects, I'm also including volume control because you can adjust the volume per instrument as you go through the composition, as well as things like high pass and low pass, delay, reverb, in some cases pitch. There are a whole bunch of interesting things you can do. And in fact, I'm going to show you how you can make changes that are going to cover that instrument for the entire song, as well as how you can change it just for a specific portion of the song. So to start, I think since scene 1 is just using the drum kit, I thought let's go over how to have the song fade in gradually. So it'll start really quiet and gradually the volume will build up to the full level. Okay? Before I start though, before I show you that, let me play through what we have so far. So it's just 4 scenes, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, as labeled at the bottom. Let me go back to 1. And each scene has 4 measures. Okay, so, and they can repeat. I discussed this in the first video, but they can either repeat 4 times, or you can have them be, each of the 4 measures be different. Here goes. All right, so as I said, scene 1, we're going to have this fade in. Now, do you see how blue is the drum set called spoke? I'm going to click on that little plus sign that's underneath that box. Okay, so we have the large boxes, 2 of which I already am using. This one and this one, right? And I'm just clicking on these to go back and forth. And then we have underneath it, okay, there's this box, and we might make one, we might make lots of them, and it can be applied, any effect can be applied to any of the measures. Anyway, let me show you what I mean. So I clicked on that plus sign, it brings us to here. Now in the upper left where it says volume, okay, if I click the word volume, these are the things we can adjust: pitch, distortion, low pass, high pass, ducker, and volume. Some of these I'm more familiar with than others, but we're going to start with volume, okay? So let me just click in the black. Now I'll hit play. Okay, now do you see this blue line to the right? Sometimes you'll find the line defaulting to the right, which is where it's turned all the way up, or here almost all the way up. You might find it, let me drag it over for you. I'll click on it once. Some things you find way down. Sometimes you find something right in the middle. Okay, so here I'm gonna have it start quiet. That upper dot, I'm gonna click that dot, or not click it actually, I don't need to click it, I need to just drag it. Okay, now let me show you what happens. Okay, let me play this for you, you'll see something. Okay, now that's kind of silly because it gets quiet, starts quiet, gets loud, starts quiet, gets loud, and it keeps doing that for all 4 measures. I don't want that, okay? I'll show you how to get it so that it starts quiet at the beginning of measure 1 and it becomes louder until at the end of measure 4 it's at full volume. To do this, up top where it says 1 bar means 1 measure. I'm going to click that word 1 bar. I'm going to choose 4 bars. Now if I say duplicate, which is not what I want to do, but I need to show you this. Duplicate is going to have it in bar 1 or measure 1, quiet to loud, etc., which is not what we want. If I wanted that, I wouldn't have even had to say 4 bars. Okay, so we don't want that. Let me click 4 bars, go back to 1 bar, save the first bar. Okay, I just dragged that over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click what's called skip. So I click on 1 bar, I say 4 bars. Here I click skip, I select skip. What this does is that it spreads the change you want over the 4 bars. So it starts off quiet, and as I scroll down and I drag this down with my finger, ultimately it ends up on full volume, which is great because by scene 2, I'd like it to be already at full volume. So I will play this for you now. Okay, so that's good. I like that. I'm going to change something else besides volume. Let me click volume. I'm going to go to low pass. And now I click on this bar to the right. Okay, I want to do the same thing. So I'm going to have it start really quiet. Well, not quiet. This one, low pass, is kind of like muffly. It starts muffly, and then as I bring it up to the fullest level, it gets more clear. So I'm going to click the 1 bar and select 4 bars. And I'm going to say skip. I hope I did that. I didn't. Yeah, okay, good. So you'll hear this now. Okay, so do you see how it not only started off quieter and got louder, but it started off kind of sounding muffly, like in the distance like this, and then it becomes clear in the end. Okay, so I like that. And it's going to keep looping until I say stop, stop. Okay, and now I say done, because that's all I want for now. Now when I get up to the next scene, scene 2, okay, I'm still on drum kit, the first box of that. Scene 3, do you see how the blue box jumps to the other one because it's a different rhythm that I have here? If I wanted this rhythm, I'll just play a little bit. Okay, if I wanted that to also start off quiet, I can select the special effects that we just set up, and it will now henceforth apply to scene 3. So let's hear how that would sound. And remember, that's just applied to the drum kit. If I wanted to apply that to noir, which is the piano, I would hold this down. Okay, let me go back and show you. I would hold down the special effects I just did now. I would say duplicate. Okay, I'll click that. I'll touch that. So now there's a second one that's identical. And here I would say I hold it down and I say move. And then I can move this up to underneath the piano, except it's not letting me. I wonder if that's not available. Okay, maybe I can't actually do that. So I'm going to delete this. Oh, it says drag loops to rearrange them. Yeah, I guess I must not be able to put this one here with... All right, well, live and learn. So I'm going to just get rid of this extra one then. We don't need that. I'll say done up top. I'm just going to get rid of this one. Delete. All right. So if I want to do the same thing up above, let's talk about special effects in noir, because you'll see they're slightly different. So underneath that box, the orange boxes, I mean to say, the big orange boxes, we have the small orange box. I'm going to click on the plus sign. Here we have volume, and let's see what else we have to choose from. Okay, a whole bunch of things. Distort, delay, reverb. There's also up top, compress, pitch, chorus, low pass, high pass, ducker, pan, volume, all kinds of stuff. And this could be so much fun. Let's see. Let me do pan. Why not? Pan is always fun. Let's have it start at the left and move to the right. And one bar I'm going to tap and make 4 bars. I'll say skip so that the change is spread all the way down. So you're going to hear over the course of these 4 bars or 4 measures that the sound, hopefully, if you have a decent stereo that you're listening to this on or headphones that can pick up stereo, you'll hear the sound move. Okay, stop that. So I don't actually want that, truth be told. But I just wanted to demonstrate. I'm going to drag this dot to the middle. I'll drag the other dot to the middle. And instead of pan, I'd like to see what other options I have. So I click on the word pan in the upper left. And let's do some delay. Okay, that can be fun. I click on this line, which is currently on the far left. It defaults to having no delay, which is like echo. So I click on that once, and let's experiment and see what kind of sound it can give us. See, without any delay, it's almost a little bit dry, although it's crisp. It's hard to say. Maybe I'll give it just a tiny bit, just a little something, and that'll make it sound more like a real piano, or at least my real piano, which is kind of old and maybe tends to have a bit of an echo, even if that's just because it's old. But I don't know. I guess I've come to love that sound. All right, it says something. Let's see what else. I'm clicking on delay. Let's see what else. I want to see what happens with pitch. This could be potentially interesting. I think this will allow me to go up a whole octave and down a whole octave. Let's see. So yeah, that could be really cool. I did once use this where there was some instrument that I liked the sound of, but I just felt it was either too deep sounding, too low, or too high. I can't remember anymore. And I did literally change it 1 octave to something else. And I was very pleased with how easily I could do that here. So I'm going to say done. So we made a few changes, not the pitch. I didn't keep that one. But if I decide I don't want to use that, I don't have to, I can just save it for later. I can turn it off. But I can turn it back on just by tapping it. Okay, and going back to scene 2, I'm kind of going out of order here. If I want to have it applied to scene 2, those same little special effects those changes I made, I can just tap that very same box, okay? So watch at the bottom as it jumps from scene 2 to scene 3. You'll see that narrow box in orange will stay on for both because I've now chosen it for both. I have to click the word loop, otherwise it keeps looping. Whenever you edit any scenes, it'll just start looping that scene endlessly until you unclick to get it off loop. You see everything down below is going to play now. If I hit loop, it's going to just stay on that one scene. If I unloop, we'll get what I was trying to do. All right, I hit stop. Okay, now there's one other thing. I actually feel that the percussion is a little bit loud. And I've noticed too that when I transfer things into a format where I can listen to it in my car or on a different stereo system, the drum kits sometimes sound a little too chintzy and artificial. And I find that even if it sounds like it's at a reasonable volume on my phone, I'm actually wise to turn it down a little. So I'm gonna, for the rest of the measures, I'm just gonna turn the volume down. It's like, whoops, I just tap quickly on that line to the right. I'm just gonna bring it down a little. And say done. And now for each measure, I can just keep turning on that special effect, you know, and just have it be quieter always. Or another thing I could do instead, there's another way to turn it down. If I know I'm going to want this change for the lifetime of this song, instead of having to do this box every time, let me just delete this one. Let me show you again. I hold it down, delete this loop. Yes, delete. Okay. Instead, if I click the word spoke, okay, and this is really important. If I click the word, it brings up the same effects. And in fact, there's even more you can do with a lot of them. Let me just show you though with volume. I can lower it manually by dragging my finger down. Okay, I didn't mean to turn it all the way down. Hold on. Or drag it, let's say, you know, a quarter of the way down maybe or so. Okay, and if I do this, it's going to stay this way for the entire composition. I don't have to go picking, you know, making a little box down here and doing anything with the volume and all that. I see it remembered what I had done even though I deleted it. That's interesting. But there's more too. So let me click on the word spoke once more. Okay, now if I click, do you see how some have a blue arrow? Volume has a teeny weeny blue arrow to the right of the word, and distortion up top, distortion also has a teeny little blue arrow. If you click on those, what it means is there's actually, in addition to just adjusting the distortion up and down, there are all these other things that you can adjust within that. And you just have to experiment from there. Or volume, let me see. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to hit play. I'm going to click on volume. And I'm going to demonstrate. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it like that. So you have a lot of choices. Now I'll just click somewhere out in the black, okay, to bring this back. And with noir too, it's the same thing. Let me get to scenes 2 and 3 because that's where I'm using noir. So if I click the word noir, okay, in these different areas, like delay, instead of just simply adjusting the delay, I can adjust feedback. Hold on, let me play it and then I'll start fiddling. I could really hear a whole lot of that, but you just have to experiment, and that's all good. Let me see something. There's this, to the right of the word noir, do you see there's like a symbol, like a nut or something? Let me click on that. Huh. Oh, I didn't know I could do attack and release. Okay, this is really interesting. I've got to experiment here. Some really interesting effects. I'll just tap in the black out here. Okay, some really interesting effects. And if you're doing like techno or electronic music, you could really make your song sound super professional, and really do some of the techniques that you hear when you're listening to that genre of music. For what I do, I guess it's not as heavily driven by special effects for the most part, but even if you just use a few of them, like the volume control is really nice to be able to control the volume. Or sometimes maybe at the very end of a song, you want to just finish it with like a nice echoing effect that gradually tapers off in the distance. So you could be doing like either delay or reverb. Those are both the echo ones, right? And as they're kind of echoing the last note or two, you could have the volume decrease, right? So it kind of fades off in an ethereal way. So a lot of things you can do. I think I will leave it at that for now. Let's play through this, and then that'll be the end of today, okay? Thank you for joining me, and I think my next video is going to be discussing percussion effects and a whole ton of maybe thousands that are hidden away that you might never even know exist. So stay tuned for that video, and thank you so much. Please share any feedback or any questions in the comments section. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.